Hey everyone, Comic Journey back here again on a new comic book day. And happy new comic book day. It's definitely a happy one for me because I'm going to add a little moral to this live stream. Right place, right time. And, that's always worked out for me a lot of times in the past. And it definitely worked out for me today. Now, I went into the LCS with intentions just picking up a couple of books. Didn't think I was going to get much. There was not a lot of great stuff that I was really into this week that I was expecting to pick up. But, I always keep my eyes open, that kind of thing. But I came into something that was really interesting. I'll get into the story about it as I'm opening up everything today. In the meantime, I was able to get this shipment from eBay, which was perfect timing to do a combo video stream. And I haven't really had the time to put a lot of other content out over the past few weeks. I've been crazy busy with work, and I have stuff in the reserve. Believe it or not, I actually have last week's new comic book day opening sitting on the shelf, and I haven't been posting it. So maybe I'll put it in a few hours from now, and then you could see a rewind kind of a thing. So, not to really get into a lot of stuff, I went into LCS today, and as I was going there today, by the way, are the you know nice comic shop news things that I pick up weekly, which I love, and picked up more comic bags because the comic shops do not provide bags or boards, at the very least bags, for all the new comics. So I'm going through these like nothing. I'd like to, I wish they had them already put in their place. I know that everybody's trying to cut corners everything they can, but it's a comic shop. People know that people collect to, you know, preserve and take care of their collectibles, regardless if they read them or not. I read my stuff, but when I read it, I put it back into the bag nicely and try to preserve it as much as possible. And comic shops which are, you know, the place to be able to get these collectibles should be cognizant of that. I don't know. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I've said it a couple times in the videos before, and it's a pet peeve of mine, and it's going to continue to be a pet peeve of mine, an annoyance of mine. That being said, first couple things that I picked up, as I normally do, I browse really quickly while I was waiting online, right next to the $2 bin that they had, and I picked up a couple of books that found interesting. Picked this one up for the main reason that I've got pretty much all the Secret Wars from the first series, and now I'm getting into this completionist format where now I want to get all the second one. So for $2, I figured why not get number three? Nice cover, reader's copy. But I don't mind having reader's copies of the full collection as long as I just have them all. And as I find them cheap, I'll pick them up and continue. Then the next book over is Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man: The Human Torch. Nothing out of the ordinary about this one. It's just a Marvel team up, which I enjoy, and I always enjoy the Spider-Man and Human Torch team ups. And the next one is number 78 of Marvel Team Up with Wonder Man, and I always love this character. I forgot what his name is. Um, Giffen or Griffin, I think his name is. I always thought this character was really underutilized. Looked like a really nasty customer, but got this one. And I'm actually starting to compile a lot of Marvel team ups now, so happy to have that one. This one I got is, and it's actually in pretty decent condition, only for the reason that it's a McFarlane cover, and I love Todd McFarlane art. And every time I see something with McFarlane art, I will pick it up. So definitely pick this one up. Then I saw this copy of Fantastic Four 250, special 250th issue, oversized, guest starring X Men, X Factor, oh, X Men, Spider Man, Captain America. This looks like Gladiator. Classic Fantastic Four stuff. Fun reads. Got it just to add to the collection. And then I got this one only because I found it interesting that every depiction I've seen of Spider Woman was with the hair coming out, other than her first appearance that was in, I think, Marvel Spotlight or maybe another one, but something along those lines. And then when they went to the straight Spider Woman series, they basically put the hair out. I don't think I've seen any other copies or any other books where she had the full head gear here. So I found that interesting, and because of that reason, I picked it up. I'm just curious to see timelines and that kind of thing. And for $2, um, I didn't mind getting it. It's a little, rough. Another reader's copy could be fixed a little bit. Nothing um, horrible about it. So those are the older books that we have here. Now I'll get into the new books, or kind of new books. Okay. First on the line was this back issue of, well, it was back issue, but it was next to the new books of Department of Truth, number 5. And the reason I picked this one up is, number 5, cover B, is because I'm actually getting close to getting the entire 1 through 10 run. And I think I have most of the cover A's and cover B's as well. So I want to have cover A and cover B, as long as it doesn't break the bank and I'm able to get these at around, I want to say, cover price, more or less. I'll pick them up and put this set together. Then I got the latest edition, Department of Truth 10, this copy, and then I got the B copy as well. So now I'm on the mission to actually have copy covers A and cover B from 1 to 10. I think I'm going to cut it off at 10 unless I see something extraordinary as far as variant covers. And from 11 on, I think I'm going to be just collecting whatever cover I like the best, because I'm having fits with these variant books. This getting annoying right now. So this is a book that I don't really know much about, but I found it really, really interesting. Barbaric. There was like a million different copies of this with different covers. This seemed very intriguing to me. The art in here is very different, almost like a little bit of throwback to some of the 80s independent kind of comics. Figured it's number 1. Why not? Let's give it a chance. Barbaric, number 1. If it's, Conan type of stuff, I'm into that. If it's, other kind of like Lord of the Rings or, whatever, hey, I'm into that kind of stuff. I wouldn't mind it. And if it's a new series, good. And if hopefully it's great. Then this probably gonna be one of the last Spawn issues that I get until I find something that is more interesting. I got this because it's the follow-up to Spawn Universe, and there were a couple of loose ends that were in there, so I'm hoping that this actually compiles it. This, I by far was, in my opinion, the most stunning cover that I found. It's beautiful, beautiful artwork. And then I saw this as I was about to leave, and I couldn't pass it up. I'm a sucker for these black and white with, splashes of red or green in there and that kind of thing. So I got it. You know, they pulled me with the variants. The next book on the list is ENIAC number 4 from Bad Idea Comp. You know, I think this is the last one, or there might be one more to the series. I had 1 to 3. 4 came out. Figured might as well get it. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with this company, if it's going to go belly up, or if this is all a scam, or if they're pulling everybody's, strings and, you know, getting a laugh out of everybody. But whatever. Got this one. Then the next book that I got, this one is for my son, 0 Point number 3. They came out with a reprint of this. I think this is the reprint, or at least I hope it's maybe it's not a reprint. I don't know, maybe, but this one he was missing to get his codes and all that stuff that he's doing for the game. So I got it for him. Hopefully he enjoys this one. And whatever, I have no idea about this Fortnite stuff, but he likes it. So every time the new issues come out, it's only a 6 issue series. It's up to 5 already, but I had missed the 3, so I picked that up for him and found out the cover. Then, as I was looking at other stuff, I ran across this right behind a couple of the newer issues of Venom, and this was strictly a cover buy. Hopefully, the story is decent, but I love the artwork on it, and that's the main reason I bought it. If there's anything significant about it, let me know. And then the last book I got was a Joker 1, which I was actually missing. I have 2 to 4, all great covers. I didn't get into Joker until issue 3, and then I bought the second printing of issue 2, and then I just followed by getting 4, and I'm probably going to be reading that at least until it stops being interesting. I'm kind of interested to see where this angle and story is going to go. But unfortunately, I had started as Joker 1 had sold out. Now, fortunately for me, my LCS had a guy that had a pull box that wasn't picking up the books, and they took all his books and put him on the shelves. And as they were putting it on the shelves, this was one of them that I picked up. It's a great cover, by the way, too. They had some other ones, but I like this one the best. I was going to do like a million covers on this. I'm happy with that. Great book. And that's it. These are all the new books that I got today for New Comic Book Day. Now, the genuinely new books were really this. And they weren't really that new. If you take out some of the back issues that I found as far as completing these new runs, they're not really, maybe about 5, 6 books are new from this week. And I like to keep it down to like 3, 4 books a week that I really like that I'm really collecting, with, the occasional one shots or occasional, thing that really interests me that I'll pick up, just to keep it, decent as far as the volume and the amount of stuff that I have in my hands. But here's the thing that was really the great part of the day today. As I was into the LCS, as I was in there, I saw somebody come in and he was trying to sell a whole bunch of books. And the LCS was not interested in any of their books, and really not into anything. He had some really good key books, Hulk 181, a whole run of Spider-Man from like the low 20s all the way to 130s. Amazing Spider-Man, by the way, which has a lot of key issues in that. And very, everybody wants Amazing Spider-Man early issues. Um, Iron Fist's first appearances for a full run of the solo series he did, some Power Man, stuff like that, like really cool stuff. But he was really unrealistic as far as what he was asking for, as far as the collection and individually. Like, for example, he wanted like 28,000 or something like that for the Hulk 181, which is ridiculous, especially in the grade that he had or whatever. Because I'm sitting observing, and the LCS basically gave him a really low offer. I'm not sure why they gave him such a low offer on buying everything altogether. I think they could have, stepped it up a little bit more, because there was definitely a lot of room to grow on there. But I'm not into buying entire collections right now, piecing them out, reselling them. That's not what I'm doing. I occasionally sell some stuff just to make some room for other stuff and keep the hobby going, and self-funded. But at the same time, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to buy entire collections just to turn them over and repurpose them and get them all graded or whatever the case is. That's just not what I'm looking to do with my collection. So I was not going to be offering him, anything for that entire collection because it was just a lot of books. And again, I don't have the time and I don't have the space to be able to deal with all that. I'd rather pick select books or whatever the case is. So he had a little stack of obscure books that were like almost discarded by the LCS. And as he's walking out, loading his car up, whatever, I was parked next to him, and he basically started talking to me, and I'm like, "All right, so what do you got?" I'm like, I'd love to buy the other stuff, but I'm not a buyer right now to buy, thousands upon thousands of dollars of books, especially knowing what I know, hearing the absurd prices that he has, which is normal for a lot of people, asking absurd amounts for copies because they don't know any better, or they just want what they want, and if they don't get it, they don't get it. If you don't ask, you don't get. That's just how it is. So as I'm going through these like obscure little books, there was some stuff that were really mangled, really torn to shreds. I had no interest in it. Some of them looked like they, you know, were hit by atomic bomb. I didn't want, for me, I don't mind getting low grade comics. I really don't. And you'll see what I mean by that when I get show you what I have left in here. Um, but I want to be able to see them at least legible, possibly readable, unless they're like these grails and insane type of key issues that you can't find. That's a different story. Like I don't think there's a lot of people that would reject an Action Comics uh point five. If it's like mangled to hell, you're still gonna take it. Or a Detective Comics 27, or a Captain America #1, or all these like golden age beautiful books, silver age books that have like not only high financial value, they also have significance and historical significance. So you take a mangled copy of that regardless of what it looks like. But for the stuff that's a little more mainstream and that kind of stuff, I'm not really into getting that stuff. So, and the stuff I went through with him, there were a few that I were pretty interesting that I pulled out, and a couple of the books were ones that I actually was interested in for my runs, specifically my Thor run. I have a significant amount of Thors from the hundreds going over to 200. So lately, I've been getting a kick as far as whatever I find in a reasonable price or that kind of thing, in decent shape. It doesn't have to be the best shape, decent shape, legible, readable. I'll pick it up and add it to the entire collection. And ideally, I'd like to have um, Journey into Mystery 100, which I have already, all the way to Thor 200, which gives me that exact 100 issue run because Journey into Mystery turned into Thor. Nah, don't get me wrong. If I could get myself my hands on a Thor, um, I'm sorry, a Journey into Mystery 83 and stuff like that, that's under 100, I'll pick them up all day, every day if I get them at reasonable prices. But, these are becoming um, beyond investment price points right now. So we'll see. Maybe down the line, I'll pick up some higher grade books. But that being said, I'm going to pull out what I was able to find. Now, as you could tell, this person has been storing these in his attic, and at least he had bags and boards. These are kind of yellowish. I don't know if you could tell from the camera. You could tell from the stains on the tape. These are not necessarily the greatest condition books, but I'm happy that I learned. at least plastics, bags, and boards. He knew something about collecting, having them that way. He just wasn't sure about what was going on. So what I ended up pulling out was Thor 124, and this is the last issue prior to second to last issue prior to the change to Thor. So 125 was the official last issue of Journey into Mystery, and then it became 126. So this is a good book. It's got some value on it, nothing crazy. It's got an early appearance of Hercules, which was really an ongoing thing between Thor and Hercules back then. And just a nice all-around cover, great book. And then I found a Thor 154, which this one actually has a little bit of significance to it. And I'll tell you why. One, it's a beautiful cover. I love these kind of covers. They just pop right out at you. The condition's not bad on these ones. Both of these are they are lower, but I want to say lower mid grade to high low grade, if that makes any sense. Without like really looking at them deeply and trying to analyze and trying to do a cleaning or whatever, they're probably in that 3 to 4.0 mix, which is okay. But this book has significance because besides having this beautiful cover and besides being a nice Silver Age Thor book, it's the first appearance of Mangog. And a lot of people don't know who Mangog is unless you're reading Thor's. And I did read a significant amount of Thor's. And that character itself is a powerhouse. It is nasty character. Really nasty, gnarly character that is like a world beater and basically could destroy Ragnarok and all this stuff. So I knew that this had some value to it. I knew this had some value to it. If these were in the LCS or the comic shop, would probably be paying 30, 40 bucks for them easily in these grades. That's just how they do it. Even they mark them up a little bit. Even if I got a better deal, 20 bucks a piece, 15 maybe, whatever. So I was thinking that in my head as I'm going. And then he just so happened to have a later issue of Thor. There's zero significance to this book whatsoever, but it is a nice cover. And it just so happens to have Mangog on the cover as well. Now, I didn't do any research on this or anything like that, but I know it's like very much a dollar bin, $2, maybe a $5 book at the most. It is in a really nice shape compared to the other ones. This definitely mid grade to higher mid grade, maybe very good to to fine minus, somewhere around there. Decent grade. You know, you know, older book. You can't like really nitpick about this. And then this was the one that got my attention. Like really got my attention. You guys ready for this one? Are you guys ready? Because I wasn't ready when I saw this. And that was Journey into Mystery number 45. Now, I said before that I'm collecting the later Journey into Mysteries, and if I ever found a newer one, an older one, at a decent price, I was going to pick it up. And it just so happened that this guy had a copy of this. Now, I don't think I'm going to do the research on this. I'm going to do the background on it. I haven't really looked at it. I did take a quick look at what they're going for online, and I'll get that into that in a second. But there's nothing out of major significance other than the fact that it is really early Journey into Mystery and it's a 10-cent copy. Now, there's an $80 price tag on here, which I saw immediately on there, but I didn't say anything about it. Like, why do you have it? Did you buy it for that much? Did he put it on there? I don't know. And nor do I care. There's a tag, whatever. But when I'm going through it with him, I'm asking him, what do you want for these books? He started off immediately at a crazy number again on these books, which honestly, I was not prepared to pay, and nor what was I going to pay. especially not knowing what this is all about. This was a real crapshoot. This was like a coin flip of whether it's going to be, a good book or a bad book. Now the condition is low. It's definitely low. You know, at its best, you're talking about maybe a 2.5, possibly with a little bit of cleaning, 3, but more realistically, probably a 2.0, more or less. So he started at like 100 plus. It got down to 90, $80. Now, I knew this one was not worth much. This was almost like a throw in for me. And these two, like I said, you could get them in the LCS probably on the lowest price point, 15 to $20. At least here in New York. I hear a lot of people picking up stuff in comic shops for a lot lower prices in other states. But, just like everything else here in New York, a lot of things are marked up. So, maybe 2025 you would find it, on the high, like extreme, because you have some of these comic shops that go really nuts as far as marking up just so they could do these occasional holiday or mid-year sales, so you could look like you're getting a decent price, and they'll like put them at $40 or so, 50 or something ridiculous. um so I knew, they have solid value of 10 to 15. And if I really went after it on eBay, I could probably get them for $5 to $10. If I was really diligent, maybe $10, $15. If I was really patient, diligent, and found the right listing at the right time, and, watching and being patient and not jumping on everything is very important, especially if you're buying stuff on eBay. And I'll that box that I have behind me that I'm gonna unbox shortly will show you why. So that's what and then this one right here was the anomaly. So I took a calculator risk and I said to him, you know what? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 books. I'll pay you $40 for all four, $10 a piece. Now, he thought this thing was worth like $30. I doubt this very much for $30, and if it is, I don't know who's going to pay that. But I said, you know what? Leave it. I'll pay you 40 for these 3. You could have that. It's worthless to me. He thought about it, thought about it. He ended up giving it to me. He did the whole trying to bring it down, whatever, 50, whatever. I just stayed at 40. One, because it was a real calculated risk. I didn't know what I was getting. There was not a lot of information on that last Journey into Mystery, but I knew in my mind, even in the worst condition, um, it's a $10 to $20 book, worst condition. And then, I basically was at my money with what I got as far as market value and getting a decent deal. And if it was worth less than that, what I'm expecting, then okay, so be it. I overpaid a little bit for a really old Journey mystery book, which I'm going to keep in my collection regardless. I like it and I wanted to keep that. And I don't see these very often. It's been years since I ran across one of these later, like really early issues, really long time. I occasionally see them pop up on eBay once in a while, but I haven't seen one like this in years, up close inside a shop or in somebody's hands. So he agreed to it. So I ended up getting these books for $40. So just like anybody does, I went on eBay right before I started this video just to see out of curiosity what this thing is going for. And this thing is going off the charts all over the place. It is going for anywhere from 80 to like 300 and change in lower grades, lower to mid grades. So the way I'm looking at these books, this is $100 book all day, every day. So I think I made out really good. Hopefully, somebody that's watching thinks the same thing. And these books, this one actually surprised me. This one is selling more than this one. And this one, honestly, is more significant. There's sales of this book in worse condition than what I have in my hands for $40, $50 consistently, which shocked the hell out of me. I'm gonna look into it if there's any kind of significance of that I don't know about, but blew me away. And this one, it's going anywhere from $20 to $40 all over the place. So I did really great, I think. You could leave a comment, let me know what you think. While you're leaving a comment, you could press subscribe and click the like button and do whatever you want to do. But I think I did really, really well. But I'm going to show you something else that made this day even better. And I did even more well. So, like I said, on eBay, we're always trying to sniff out the best possible deal. And I ran into one of the buyers that I bought, a few months back, a couple of already slabbed books. The one was a X-Men 211, and the other one was X-Men 212, which are part of that Mutant Massacre run, which are really cool books. But because of the fact that there was 8 and 8.5, they hit the price point a lot. So I ended up getting them for less than what it cost him to grade them. So, I feel bad that happened. The guy obviously spent a lot more than what it cost him. Than he got. But he had no hard feelings. It was a really good seller. So I put him on my saved seller list. So whenever he had stuff pop up, I, was able to find it. So he had put up a few more slabs. So now I'm getting into this whole CGC, CBCS thing because I'm getting more and more already slab books, which I'm happy about. But he had a few of them up there that were a little obscure. And at the same time, he got dinged again in the grades. He had them already significantly lower than what the market values were. But I had reached out to him, first of all, to ask him if he's going to combine shipping because he had multiple listings on, two listings significantly on. Actually, 4 he had on, but it was 2 that I was interested in, 2 different lots. And I was really interested in getting them, but I didn't, if he didn't combine the shipping was going to be like $50 something alone. So he said, listen, I'll give you a better deal, make it now, whatever the case is. I'm not going to say how much exactly, because honestly, I feel really bad for the guy because he got burned on, the grading. And he thought he was going to have a much higher price book. He ended up pressing it and doing everything he had to do. But the value wasn't there. And the buyer pool wasn't there. And he was in a pinch. He had to sell. He's moving right now. So he really had to sell. And for that reason, he was willing to give me a sweetheart deal. Like, when I say sweetheart deal, a deal like you wouldn't believe. So I mentioned that I had bought previously from him under what it cost him to grade and press and all that. Well, this time I got him for significantly lower than what it cost him to grade. I think I got what it would cost me to get them raw, to be quite honest with you. So, just so you can understand, everything that you're seeing here cost me about $100. It was really, really, really a deal I couldn't give up. And the funny thing is, some of these books that I got, I was not necessarily, in love with. I liked, but at the price, it got me to pick them up because they're nice parts of my collection that I really wanted. So let me open up a couple things first. Let's open up the loose books first. Okay, so Iron Man 212. Okay, so this, I believe, let's see if I'm right. Holy crap, this guy got a lot of tape on here. I like it though. He takes care of himself. He packages so well. He packages so damn well. No matter how much of a loss he takes, he doesn't, or how low of a price he's selling it for, he does not, you know, do things to like be, spiteful or whatever the case is. He's a really nice guy. Oh, this is the one. All right, perfect. So 212, this issue, and he puts him in my lights too, on top of everything else. Go figure. Um, issue 212. He had this on a lot for like a couple bucks, and he basically threw it as far as a bundle with the rest of the stuff that I got. Really nice, clean copy of it. And the reason I wanted it was because it's one of these uh, Marvel 25 borders, and I've been collecting them. That's something that I've been focusing on since I started recollecting. So I was really happy to get that because that was one of the 25th anniversary ones that I was missing. A couple bucks, you can't go wrong. Other than the border, other than the 25th anniversary thing, I don't think there's anything significant about it though. Oh wow. Sorry people if this is taking me forever and I'm doing this live, but I wanted you to genuinely see what I'm seeing as I'm opening it. All right. So, oh wow, he threw a whole bunch of extra stuff in there. He said he was going to throw a couple extra books in there. Wow, this guy is really really solid. I got to send this guy something. I got his address as a thank you. Cuz honestly, he went over the top. So the first book, this is the second book that he had posted. Again, he had it only for a couple bucks. And he ended up throwing this in too. And that works out well for me because I got a lot of these Amazing Spider-Man annuals, and that was one of the ones I'm missing. And it was a nice classic Amazing Spider-Man cover with She-Hulk, and you had Abomination. And it was funny that these two characters that are in spec again were there out there. But nice book, $2 I couldn't remember. And he decided just to, you know, I guess he had these and he needed to get rid of them because he was moving and didn't want to take up space with them. Um, Amazing 281, really nice book as well. Some Amazing Spider-Man Black costume stuff. And then 273, part of the Secret Wars 2 crossover by coincidence. So let's open up the slabs. I know that everybody's been waiting for trying to figure out what's in the slabs. Okay, so the first one that I got on slab, let's see, dun dun dun, is, let me see if I can get this better on camera. Aliens, number 2, 9.0. Okay. And then the next book is, it was part of the same lot. Aliens, number 3, 9.4. Now, these are part of the original Aliens run from Dark Horse Comics. And they just recently started a run of Marvel, which is actually pretty decent read. I have the first few issues, and they were not bad. It's up to number 4, I believe, right now. And I'm on the fence of whether it's keeping me in or are they just rehashing a lot of the older stories, such as these, which were great stories, by the way. So I'm on the fence of where they're at, but I love the fact that he had a Maurice slab. They were something that was in the back of my mind of trying to compile and get that original miniseries together. So he had him in 9.4 and 9.0, which I was okay with. I was okay with that. And I'll tell you why I was okay with that. Because I don't need to have them in 9.8 because they were part of my collection. And the price was so fair, beyond fair. I mean, it was kind of, while I'm doing that, I'm opening the other box that was in there. Um, they was, they were so attractive. I mean, the cost of what I got them for, in many cases, you probably get them, in the wild for the same prices, and without any kind of casing. So I was really happy about that. Now, wow, I could actually see already that he put the other books in my lights as well. Really, really solid guy. Honestly, this guy is solid. You know, again, I don't want to hurt the guy by make him sound like he's like doing fire sales all the time. So that's why I'm not mentioning his name, because it's just not cool to do that. I want him to be able to get as much as he can from other auctions. You know, but again, just like the other set that I had gotten, this stuff, these Journey into Mystery things, just like those, right time, right place. And I was on the right time on eBay, right place, had the alert set up. He was ready to make a deal happen, and he made it happen. I didn't think I was going to get a deal out of this. He was ready. He was motivated to get it sold. So this next set is, I might as well just do this first. This was the slab that came in from the other lot, and this was What If number 33. There's been a little bit of speculation about something significant about the Iron Man and Doom team up and that kind of stuff, or like story that was affiliated with this. I don't think there's anything significant. It's nice that it's a slabbed What If. It would be great if it was 9.8. There's not a lot of value to this book itself. You probably sell it for 20, $30 if you really tried hard, maybe 40, maybe more. I don't know. There's not a lot like this that are slabbed, actually. These are very, very low on the census. There's less than 100 that are graded altogether. There might be actually 70 altogether graded in all grades. So there's not a lot of this sell and this price point. So maybe it's worth more with the right type of sale and marketing and that kind of thing. But I don't mind that. I like What If stories. And that's the reason I bought this lot. Not necessarily the slab. That slab was the cherry on top. Because there was something else in this lot that I've been specifically targeting for a very long time. I've been wanting to get for a very long time. And I have been hesitant to pull the trigger because in a lot of situations, I just felt that it was overpriced. A little bit because of a lot of speculation that's happening. I'm not sure if any. I'll show my hand as far as what I'm opening up. A lot of spec that's happening right now is around the What If, and some of it is based off of the series that's supposed to come out, which I think is really far fetching. It is What If. These are made up stories from alternate realities and stuff like that. They're not affecting the regular continuity. And they were always meant to be fun, alternative stories. And that's the reason I always enjoyed them as a kid. But ever since the What If series was, discussed of going on, it's supposed to go on soon. onto Marvel Plus or Disney Plus, whatever. Um, and you know, it spiked the prices of a lot of the what ifs. I mean, the one that was more significant that the spiked up was that what if number 10. That's the first appearance of Jane Foster as Thor, but that's for other reasons of spec as well. Um, but you know, that's not the reason I bought these books. This is not the reason. And the reason was, let's see what's coming out here. All right, he's putting them in different orders. All right, so this first book right here is What If number 7 from the second series that was out there. Nothing significant about it. It's probably a great read. I think I remember reading this as a kid. Um, Liefeld cover. You know, you don't see any feet, so you know it's Liefeld. Um, then you have What If Electra Had Lived, number 35. And this is from the original series. Love these stories, these old What If stories. Then the next one is What If Daredevil Became an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Great story. Number 28. Again, one of the original. And this one had a bonus one, which is kind of cool actually. What if Ghost Rider were separated from Johnny Blaze? Interesting one. I've never read this one, so I'm happy to have it. This one I actually owned already, but it looks like this one is in much better grade and shape than the one I own, so I'm happy to have it. What if Rick Jones became the Hulk? Number 12, what if? So, got all this, but this right here is what I was targeting, what I wanted for. My goal was to be able to pick up a copy of this, you know, in decent shape. I don't want to pay more than 10, 20 bucks for it. I really didn't want to pay more than 10, 20 bucks for a decent shape one because I actually wanted to open it up. I wanted to read it. I wasn't going to get it to grade it and slab it and send it out. So I got it for the reason that I wanted to have it as part of my collection and enjoy it. And it was number 1 of one of my favorite childhood series. So I got it. I finally have it in my collection. This was actually one of the books that I never had in my collection as a kid that I always wanted to, because even back then, they were not easy to come across and they were a little pricey always for some reason or another. And I was a little cheap. I didn't want to pay. I'm a little cheap like right now too. I don't want to pay more than I have to. But at the same time, I could understand value, whatever the case. But I knew there was copies out there in a shape that I could get 10, 20 bucks. I just had to be patient. So I saw this lot with number 1, number 12, number 28, number 35, and number 7 of the second series, along with number 33 in a slab available. And I got all these combined. Let me say that again. I got all these combined for less than what it cost to slab this. Which you got to be an idiot not to take that deal. It was a great deal. I got a bunch of books that I'm really going to enjoy, and I'm really looking forward to adding to my collection. And like I said in the beginning, right place, right time. I was in the right place when it came to running into that guy at the LCS, and I was in the right place when I came across these on eBay. And here, I'll put even one more up. I was in the right place when this was put on the shelves because of that guy that had a pull list that never picked up his books. Right place, right time. Good day today in comics. Again, not a lot of new stuff that I'm dealing with, but a lot of happy stuff. So I'm going to end this stream. Thanks to everybody for watching. And until next time, you keep collecting, and I will keep recollecting. Have a great night, everyone.